And when the day comes that someone else looks to you for strength, offer it freely. Take the lessons, take the pain, take the love that we leave for you and multiply it. Be the ancestor someone will one day thank in a whisper, and then shout your name in joy because you are necessary. You're the spark, and we can't wait to see how brightly you'll burn.
Aloha mai kako o Noelani Analasit Lali ko ui noa. My pronouns are they, them, and I'm also known as DJ Noe. I'm a radio DJ and production assistant here at Daybreak Star Radio, the only station indigenizing the airwaves. Today, I have the honor of speaking with Taffy Munn Johnson, the executive director of UTOPIA, the United Territories of Pacific Islanders Alliance, Washington. Taffy Maene Johnson is an unapologetic champion for social justice, proudly identifying as a fa'afafine and trans woman from Samoa. Her unwavering commitment to the queer and trans communities serves as an embodiment of strength and resilience. In her role as the visionary founder and executive director of the United Territories of Pacific Islanders Alliance, UTOPIA Washington, Taffy has dedicated over a decade to the relentless pursuit of LGBTQIA+ rights, dismantling systemic barriers, and fostering an inclusive society. Her tireless efforts have not only established a vital sanctuary for countless Fa'afafine, Mahu, Leiti, and Leva, and other Pacific Islander allies, but also exemplify a steadfast commitment to a more equitable future in the Pacific Northwest and beyond. UTOPIA Washington is a queer and trans people of color-led grassroots organization born out of the struggles, challenges, strength, and resilience of the queer and trans Pacific Islander QTPI communities, facilitating a cultural and community organizing amazing programs such as the Sex Worker Empowerment Initiative, Food Access Network, peer support systems, policy and environmental and cultural change, as well as the Mapu Maya Clinic and more. Velina Mekia Loha Etafi, mahalo piha for being here. It's an honor to be Healo with you and to speak with you today.
Alpha Norlani, it's wonderful to be here, and thank you so much for this opportunity to talanoa and speak with you on behalf of Utopia.
Could you share with us UTOPIA Washington's manifesto, core work, and the cultural values that inspire it?
So Utopia Washington exists to creating a safe, vibrant, and a thriving space specifically for LGBTQIA plus people, as well as MVP FAF plus communities, as well as other Indigenous Pacifica identities. Utopia's mission is rooted in the liberation of queer and trans Pacific Islander communities through culturally grounded organizing, healing justice, and systems transformation. We are led by Pacifica Indigenous queer and trans people who understand that our cultural identities are not separate from our advocacy. They are the very foundation of the work that we do here with Utopia.
Mahalo, Piha, for that beautiful answer. And so, as you mentioned, Utopia is led by Indigenous queer leaders. So, how does Utopia honor and support the diverse identities in our community that you mentioned? For example, Fa'afafine, Mahu, and Two-Spirit relatives, etc., and in the programs and also within gatherings?
At Utopia, we do not just include our identities, we center them in the work that we do. As a proud Fa'afafine myself and a trans woman, I know the power of being seen, the power of being heard and affirmed in all that we are. So our programs are intentionally designed to uplift and honor the identities that are often erased or misunderstood. So our work at Utopia weaves our gender roles, our languages, and our lineages into everyday life, not as a performance, but as our lived truth.
And so, mahalo for that. And so, within this framework of MVPFAFF, with our Pacific kin, and what are some of the challenges that you notice we are facing here in Washington, and then maybe broadly, however you want to approach that, and How does Utopia work to address those needs and overcome those challenges in culturally grounded ways?
So while trying to survive in systems that were never built for us, our QTPI and MVP folks access to healthcare, access to housing, employment, and even basic dignity is not a given. And so our work at Utopia is to meet people where they are. For instance, we have a free community healthcare clinic, which is called Mapumaya Clinic, which is based here in Kent, down in South King County. At Mapumaya Clinic, we offer free gender affirming and culturally competent care, right? We also have our Makeki, which is food market, through our food access initiative, which nourishes not just the LGBTQIA plus MVP FAF plus community, but anyone who is in need of food access, right? We advocate for policies that are rooted in our values, but making sure that our solutions are led by our people. We do not operate on a charity model, and so we operate on a liberation model.
Gatherings and events. And I know one specifically is the Cutie Pie Camp and other
Mhm.
gatherings that bring people together. And so what role do these community camps and ceremonies play in reconnecting us to our heritage and co-creating solidarity amongst youth, elders, and families?
Our Cutie Pie Camp, which is coming up in July, it's a sacred return, right? It's a space that is intentionally created for queer and trans Pacific Islanders, for MVP FAF, Indigenous Pacifica folks, to not only breathe, to be and belong, right? So, because we want to create spaces where we're gathering, we're not simply camping, right? It's where we can come together as a family and gather. We are reconnecting with land, we are reconnecting with our language, with our lineage. And the boundaries between generations and geography soften. And our youth, they come with curiosity and hunger for truth, while our elders, they arrive carrying stories, carrying, years of wealth of knowledge and wisdom, carrying lullabies, right? And carrying ancestral wisdom. And together, our elders and our youth, we can shape a collective vision of liberation, grounded in cultural knowing and lived experience.
I'm wondering, are there other examples or instances of how our elders and our youth share knowledge in community? And what does that intergenerational leadership and healing look like at Utopia?
Yeah, I think intergenerational work is not a strategy, it's a value. So in our cultures, leadership is not always about age. It's about how one shows up for the people. It's how one honors legacy. It's about how one embodies service. And that's the foundation that we build on. There is a Samoan saying that says, Oleala tautua pule, right? A pathway to leadership is through service. And that is a guide to a lot of the work that we do as Samoans, as Indigenous peoples. Our elders, they carry so much stories of survival, and our youth carry dreams of something better. And so at Utopia, we hold both with care and we move forward together.
I'd love to know, what advice do you have or would you give to the next generations?
We see you and we need you, right? I think our next generation, your ideas, your art, your rage, all of your questions, all of it belongs. And that you do not need to earn your right to exist. You already do. And that your being is a gift, not a burden. You'll make mistakes, you'll rise again, and every step you take in your truth is a victory for all of us. And always remember that colonization taught us to forget, and your joy is a form of remembrance. So laugh without shame, dance with purpose, mourn with depth, and celebrate with abandon, because you are the living prayer of our ancestors, of your people, of your lineage, of your community. You carry more than you know. You carry our histories, our hopes, names that were nearly erased, but you also carry possibility. You're not just the future, you are the now, and your breath is resistance, your softness is strategy, your boundaries are sacred. You don't have to conform to be powerful, you don't have to shrink to be loved. And know that we built this so that you could rise, and we fought so that you wouldn't have to fight alone. And everything we planted, every march, every camp, every festival, every story, every chant, it was for you so that you can come into the world with your head high and your heart whole. And when the day comes that someone else looks to you for strength, offer it freely. Take the lessons, take the pain, take the love that we leave for you and multiply it. Be the ancestor someone will one day thank in a whisper, and then shout your name in joy because you are necessary, you're the spark, and we can't wait to see how brightly you'll burn.
I often pose to my writing students the question of who are you writing to versus maybe who you're writing for. And so I'm writing for a broad audience, but who I write to, like these stories are love letters. This novel is a love letter. For this is